And to the sky we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my stream. Sorry, I clapped. I start right away clapping into the mic. Happy to see you all. I hope everyone is doing fine. What's happening with my chat? I don't see the chat. That's better. That's better. Okay, let's go there. Let's go there. Okay. So yeah, I'm Frank Boucher, your host, and for the next 2 hours, we'll be streaming, coding in .NET with containers and the cloud, having fun. This is behind my cloud. It's kind of the behind the scene, what I'm working on, what will be coming up in the future. And this week, it was Build. Microsoft Build. I wasn't there. I wish I was. I was supposed to, but then last change of plan, I didn't go, but that's not a problem. I could watch without getting tired, without getting jet lag, though I miss all my friends, but that's okay. One big news that was announced was .NET Aspire 9.3. Look like it's the morning for me. I quickly look at the news, I'd like in a blog post what's in, and I want to dig into that with you today, and let's try to see what we can do with different projects. So I think today we'll be using Note Bookmark to experiment with that, and yeah, I think it will be fun. I hope you're having fun, so sit down, enjoy, I don't know, like for me this week it was like rainy and cold, so I don't know why I'm drinking iced tea, but I didn't feel to drink iced coffee. But I didn't feel to drink hot coffee. Ah, that's good, right? That's good. So, let's do, how do I do that again? Let's do this. Yeah, oh, that's not good. Oh yeah, I forgot to turn on my little light. My little friend here. There we go. No more shadow, and I look at the light, so now I see nothing. Well, those things happens, I guess. Okay, where is it? On Frank's channel. Yes, previously, last week. Thank you, Jeff. Last week, if you go at Behind My Cloud, you could see all the show notes are always there. And I spend the time to show it to you today because maybe it's a thing that we'll do. So like people could like, if you miss one, you know where to look at. And I was surprised that a few of my regulars didn't know about that website. So last week we were looking at community PR. Oh yeah, and I think it will also be good for me then because I was like, as I was saying it, I was like, what did I work on? Yes, so we had like a cool PR from someone from the community on the URL shortener to add QR code. Oh yeah, I forgot to swap anyway. To generate QR code for the URL shortener. And we look into the code, how it was. The code is impeccable, super clean, everything, but it's using a service instead of using. Let me just put that as my phone as vibration. Hi. Who is there? JT Sum. Hello, sir. Bonjour. How are you? Comment ça va? I don't know why I speak French with an English accent. Hello. No jet here. That's right. On Code Rush, you have jets. Is it you who have like jets? Flying jets? So, where are my There it is. Woo, 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 woo. Yeah, we look at that. Okay, and so like we didn't merge it. The only reason why I didn't merge it is to generate the QR code. It's using a web service. First try, GT? Seriously? Did you not just do the same thing last week? Like go buy a lotto ticket, my friend. You're so lucky. 62 is a good score to get started, at least. You pass. If you were at school, you pass. You're safe. It's all in the click. Noted. So yeah, so the service, so to create that QR code, it's using a service. And I didn't really want to have like a service dependencies for this project. If we have dependencies, I would prefer having like a package. And I think that service was like the owner of that service was the same person who did suggest the modification, the PR for the QR code. So also it goes. I notify him in the PR, a reply already. I saw that this week in Discord. So looking forward to see what's happening in there. We'll look, but today we're looking at the Spire 9.3. I didn't have the time to look at it in the previous week because I was busy with build. But I'm very excited with like a lot of changes. Not changes. Is it changes? New feature. Like they didn't remove stuff. They added stuff. And like reading to that and like I have the Jeffrey Fritz blog post, and I have the documentation. I will share those links with you in the docs. So let's add it to the notes. Aspire doc. Boom. Copy that, paste it in here, paste it also on YouTube. And the blog post, let's put that. Note. Oh, let's put Jeff. There it is. So you don't have to wait for me to read it. You can read it at the pace you want. Lurky dev, cryptographer, code by mistake. It's always the... Are you lending again? No. Be nice with your digital friends. They want to lend too. So we don't need that. So yeah, so reading that post, I was amazed in like how much stuff they put in. Like that's big. And there's many things that are new that I think will be useful for many projects that we are working on. So let's have a look. I will go in my corner. What's happening? TVD is rating 15. Thank you, TVD. I notice I speak higher in English than when I speak French. I don't know why. What's up? You're in trouble now. Arrive here. Stony Eagle, hello. Welcome. Da-da-da-da. DVD is rating you. I have events that are trigger and just take times. Hey. George is there. Merci. Fantastic. Oh, look here. You might be lending TBD. Oh, like the angle was just kind of like. GT already landed today. GT already landed today. Did I? No, Stony Eagle. You need to go that way. Okay. So yeah, let's go in a smaller corner. Not that again. I thought that was Resolve. What's happening? What's... Give me some win. Why? Why is that? So this? Voilà. So today OBS decided to use... I have two, or yeah, maybe I should clean it up. I think I have like 3 screen capture because I didn't want to remove it in case I had trouble. I could kind of like quickly plug back my old stuff. But now OBS is confused with all that. Base plan. Lurky Dev landed with a score of 67. That's pretty cool. Is the music too loud? I was trying to adjust that this morning. Let me know. Okay, so Aspire 9.3. Did you have a look, TBD? I know you're using Aspire 2. Seems fine. Thank you, Coding Craft. Yeah, so didn't have the time to play with it, but I'm very excited about it. So it's a minor version, right? Because it's the 0.3. Yeah, just update developer.stream to Aspire this morning. Ahaha. The music is perfect, to be honest. If anything, it is a bit low, but it's perfect. Perfect. Great. Oh, so you're the one complaining about TBD being silent for a little while he's thinking. Ah, now we know. I was watching TBD this morning. How was your stream? Did you make progress? I was very happy. There's a lot of good things in it. So let's have a look. So container configuration. All good. So yeah, I was super, that was French. I was very happy with the configuration. So now when you're bringing your own container, you could go and like specify the port and with password and stuff like that. So here what it does is like it's adding a parameter. You could use secrets when you're local, right? So instead of like having that in the configuration file and stuff like that, you could specify that as secret and using the secret to like save the value. And then in Aspire, when you pass that, you say, hey, like pass a password. So the reference will be there from the secret and just like push here. Pretty happy. Sorry, I don't want to start a fight here. All good. Oh. Yeah, so I think it's pretty cool that you could do that. So many container integration, exposed first class helper. Yeah. So the port was cool too. When you have like when you want the control on stuff. So I think that was pretty nice.
Bonjour. Hi.
TB Sorry, Dev is there. Hello, my friend. Bonjour, bonjour. We're just starting. We're just starting. You're not late today. Am I? I'm lagging again. Am I? No. I'm moving too fast. I should do that. Okay. How are you, Sturdy Dev? So yeah, so the streamline custom URL. Pick where a link appear. Each link now carry a URL display location, summary and details only, relative path. Yeah, so that's cool. So you could do that. I'm not sure I understand. Like, I will have to experiment with that because I'm not sure I understand all that. Like, what's the difference and why would you do that? I mean, like, you could. I think you can hide some. Like, if you don't want to see in the dashboard, for example, HTTP, and just keep the HTTPS, you could remove that one if you want. Lurky Dev is landing, and Daryl Surly Bot. Wonderful. Let's do that. So let's have a look at this sample. So front end, builder, add project, okay. And then hide the plane. Yeah, so you could do that. Like, let's go a little bit smaller. Can I? If I go smaller. Is it too small for you guys? Oh, did I land it? I landed. 64. Booyah. GT. Yeah. And now we have a special statistics at the end of the stream. CB, or Cloudbot. If I like, you know, Mr. Cloudbot here. CB is like taking all the scores and will share like who's the luckiest, who's the bigger loser, who's the more trying to win and stuff like that. So some funny statistics. Them fighting. Oh, okay. So yeah. So one thing I think I like is that you could remove that. Oh, that's what it means. Like location. So you need to click just to see it. And oh yeah, I think I like that. I'm not sure I would. I don't know. Would I add an extra line to hide that from the maybe if it's really packed? I don't know. You still landed. You land every time. GT. Add an extra link under HTTPS endpoint for the health. Oh, so that's cool. So you could remove the HTTP and then add the HTTP. Oh, I like that. I would definitely do that. To do, add this. That's cool. Add resources. I think that's cool. So hide resource without faking their state. So historically, the only way to keep the resource in the dashboard. I never did that though. Hey, thank you, George, for the follow. George Smiley Face, welcome aboard. I stream every. Oh, I should have said that when TBD raid. I'm Frank Boucher. I raid. Yeah, sometimes I raids, but I stream every Friday from my time zone on the east coast of America in Canada. So from 9 to 11. I may stream more in the upcoming weeks. I don't know. I still not decided if I will be doing more. But yeah, I'm a .NET developer. I love Cloud Azure, and that's my place to have fun. I call the stream Behind My Cloud because it's kind of like the behind the scenes is like where I try stuff, build stuff, and then like I do more polish YouTube video or a blog post talking about those stuff. I'm not French from France. I'm French from Montreal, Canada. So oui, je parle français. C'est ma langue première. My primary language is French. Canadian French, exactly. Yeah. I was used to work very early because of I work a lot with Europe and changes and stuff, reorg, and I was working a lot more with people in the west coast of me. so Seattle and all those things. So I was working a little bit more late. But I'm a morning guy, so I like to stream in the morning. That's when my brain is on. So I could, have energy when I'm streaming. Otherwise, I will be like, what's the... I don't know that word in English. I will all be kind of like melt into my chair, just kind of like, okay, guys, let's do .NET. Boop, boop. Okay. Let's see. So clear defaults, cleaner defaults, low level helper, add parameter, add connection string, mark themselves hidden so they don't clutter the UI. Were they there before? So where are you based, George? Lay back. Yeah, well, I was thinking less eloquent word, like évaché or like veg in French. I'm Danish. Ah, welcome, welcome. Okay, so the secret true will hide them. Oh, interesting. Veggie? Oh yeah, it's true. I could have said that. OSS 117. Oh, that's a good one. I like that guy, that movie. But like, was it supposed to be a series? Like, is there only one, or there's more of OSS 117? Like, I'm struggling seeing it in English. Hello, Bus Spider. Welcome aboard. Well, I don't see you as like it's your first time on the chat, so I'm assuming you're not on the first visit here. So welcome back. Okay, so the new life cycle events. And I introduced the two new life cycles event. Build custom resource the behavior without relying on hack task run. What? Initialize resource. This event fire after a resource is added, but before the endpoint are allocated. Oh, it's especially useful for custom resources that don't have a built-in life cycle, like container for executable, like a job, something like that. Give you a clean place to kick up background logic, set default state, or wire up by behavior. For example, this minimal custom resource publish a running state when initialized. I was there before .NET set 7. So you're a long time. So did you change your alias then? Usually I'm good with like, I'm not good remembering your name if we, is it true? No, if we meet in person, like I will struggling. I thought I was letting. I may have trouble remembering your name, but when I read it, or if I write it, then like it's stuck into my memory. Nevertheless, happy to see you here today. It's fun. So that's okay. So for example, minimal custom resource publishes a running state when initialized. So okay, so it created a resource, fine. Had the resource, eventing subscribe, initializing resource. Okay. I'm not sure I had like I would like back when I was working in retail stores. I work in a photo laboratory, the 1 hour photo lab, or the youngest. That was a place where you bring your negative, like your film, when you're taking pictures, and I was like processing them and like giving you back pictures. And a lot of people were like dropping their films, but then forget to come back, or like I was taking. So we were taking also the phone number. So name, phone number, and like how many copies you want of like blah, 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 a bunch of stuff. And like, so I was writing that on the envelope, right? But sometime I was remembering you. So like I was seeing you coming, and I was picking up the envelope, or even some, like, if you're a regular, I could like write your name. And once I did, only once, I start writing the phone number before asking, and the woman was really scared. And like, she was an old lady and I was a kid, so I was like, no. But like, I don't know. And I'm like, why? Was he like, yeah, it's easy, it's like 0000, like, come on. I never saw that. Obviously, like, you know, like say 000, like it was like the last 4 digits were the same number. It's like, come on. It's special. I never saw that in my life, so obviously I remember. But like, she thought I was like, what's the word? Creeps or whatever. Yeah. But most of the time I have like a very fuzzy memory. Kind of like I remember stuff, or yeah, I read about something. That's why, in fact, I start the my blog post, Frankie's Notes. Like my reading notes, because I forget. So I read like all the time. I think in tech we need to read all the time like we need to learn. My way is like catching up is like I read. So like when I saw an interesting blog post, I send it to my reading device, and then I read there, take a notes, and like the tool we'll be working on today, like it helped me generate that thing. So it's aggregating the notes and like putting it in like a format like this, keeping track of what I read. And that's just because I read an article, so now I could like Google myself a little bit faster. You invented embedding with argentic picture. I didn't invent that. I did work a lot in photography for 11 years. That's how I pay my university. Okay, so I'm not sure. I get that. Like I understand it, but I'm not sure how I would use it. Maybe I could have some kind of a job. So if, let's say, I have like a database container, maybe for the, like for MySQL, there's like a initialize folder, you drop your file and it will just run but for SQL Server, I think you don't have that. And for Postgres, I don't know, but maybe once the database is healthy, then we could trigger that, and then after that vanish. I don't know. YARP. That's cool. That's cool. Do you know YARP? It's like Nginx, but in C#. It's for yet another proxy. I never work with. I don't think I play with. I think I look at YARP. I would like to work with YARP, but I just don't have. Maybe I don't understand enough the reverse proxy usage. Like I get what it does, but I feel like I never think about like using it. Do you understand what I mean? Instead of like using Nginx, you could use YARP. And now it's integrated. That's cool. I love it. Oh, so it's native. It's not even that's cool. It's not even in the community framework. It's part of Aspire. So I'm guessing they are using it for all the endpoint manipulation and stuff like that. Argentic pictures. Yeah. Oh. I'm ready, Serdev. So add a reverse proxy to your Aspire API gateway. The config file is mounted in the container. reference basket service, catalog service. So now if you do catalog, see, like, you know, so I don't understand what's the difference between that. Oh yeah, so instead of having two different URLs, you have only one, and then like it's this word instead of like having the URL. See, like I don't, maybe for security, the with reference call automatically ensure the proxy container can resolve the reference. That's gonna, I think it would be cool. I'm not sure I get it though. I will have to experiment with it. Okay, no delimitation. Oh yeah, it's in preview, so only configuration based route. 10 seconds. I'm ready. Go, go, go. Turns out the Foundry repo has GSUM for all the action Pathfinder 2nd edition. What? Did I miss another message, George? Sorry, Dev. Did you just land on a... Yeah, you landed. You're leading today's score, I think. Man. Nope. I suddenly write things. So what are you talking about? The AI Foundry repo, or you're talking about the I don't know. Oh, wonderful. I have been writing a Discord bot to help tabletop RPG. That would be cool. That would be cool. I had a cool project to like, we won't work today about on it, but I have 2d6 dungeon app. Let me put that in the chat. So it's a companion app. It's not digital. Oh, let me put it also in the on YouTube. Yeah, so like it's like, so I bought those books on Kickstarter with Toby Lancaster. They're solo player, dungeon crawler, dice and paper game, and I thought it would be cool to play on my tablet. But then like having the books and like the dice and like the paper to take notes and stuff, and I was like, yeah, I could do that. Like I could like have different app, but like it was just kind of a mess to like swipe and then scroll, find the stuff and things like that. So I thought, oh, like maybe I could do like a digital version. And I was like, that would be fun. I could play with the new Aspire. I could play with like Blazor, a Fluent UI Blazor. I use that and like services and different stuff and databases and things like that. So that's why I do this stream. So we built that live. And yeah, so right now we just released the first version. Like it's still it's totally not finished, but I released the first kind of like package. And I still need to try to see if it's playable, what's missing, taking notes and stuff like that. I know some people were very looking forward to try that. So I was hoping they could jump and like help me save time. But I know one was really interested, but he's not a developer. So like right now you need to run it locally with Docker, or you could deploy it with AZD up and it will deploy into Azure. But yeah. Nice. I'm also working very slowly and occasionally on a Dungeon Master tool that will help you keep tracks of your world and games. Oh, that's cool. I'm trying to make it event source DB. Oh, interesting. So you can actually see what happened during the game. That's pretty cool. Are you using like a already existing source, event source DB? I know one of my friends was working on a project like that. David Guetta, it's an engineer at Microsoft. Sort of like the playback in Braid of the map menu. Yeah, I think, yeah, let me, maybe I star it. Let's go see if I have it. I think David will be super happy to, now that I have more time also, I could go check in the community framework if I can help. Oh no. Okay. Can I find him? I could go in my repository. Oh yeah, 2d6, I think. I had something about Blazerize. Yeah, Blazerize was the name of his stuff. Let's do that. Blazor Eyes? Is that how you spell it? Nope. Was it Blazerize? Okay, let's go in the 2d6 dungeon app. No. Issues. Blazer X. So that's also a pretty cool project. So Blazer X is we did a video on YouTube about that. Pretty cool thing where you manipulate things, canvas, and like I'm looking for my words, images. That's not the word I was looking for, but anyway, like images, instead of like going JavaScript, you do it in C#. But this guy also he was working on his own project. Yeah, that one. Let's add it to the note too. There it is. And let's put it on YouTube. Even there's nobody there. So yeah, so pretty cool project. I'm not sure if we did a project. Did we do a video about that? This is the guy. His AI is... It's not my job. Oh, I should subscribe, buddy. You're writing. It's been a while. Yeah. Yeah, I thought... Did we... I thought we did. That doesn't look like Microsoft. Like this. There it is. Oh yeah, it will be a lot of like. Okay, let's go playlist. Sorry, I go fast. Okay, there it is. Open up Microsoft. Let's pause that. I'm not sure if you could hear it, but deep dive introduction. Octane, Aspire. Here we speak about Blazor. I thought we did. Did we do another one? I thought we did. Anyway, so if you want to learn about Blazor, the Blazor X that I just shared, this is it. That was pretty cool. But I thought we did another one about the event stuff. Anyway, have a look. I'm sure it's there. Or you could go ak.ms/open Microsoft. No, I did a typo, right? Micro. Yeah, I'm missing it. Oh. No? Yeah, because now it's... There it is. So that's Blazor X. I thought that was the first one. Oh, there it is. I knew we did one too. There it is. Oh, it's pretty cool. Very smart guy. Okay. Forgot where we were. What are we doing? Best chance to everybody. Look like we'll have plenty of friends lending. Yay! Excellent. I forgot what I was saying. So that's cool, George, for your project. Sorry, I like sharing about the events DB. I forgot where we were. GT Sun, did you land it again? No, huh? Oh no, you're trying right now with Clarkio. eyebrows. Oh man, you're the luckiest. Won't say it out loud, but 53 still not your best score, but pretty good. Okay, cool. So I really like that now. So for MySQL, when you had a database, and that's impact us in many projects, 3 out of 5. Yeah, like telling you, after this stream, go buy a lotto ticket, and come next week and give me tons of like how they call that, bits. I call it like the cloud points. I think they are called bits. Yeah, bits. Okay, so yeah, so MySQL add database now create the database. That's pretty cool. If we look at how it was working before in the app hosts in the program, oh yeah, no, this one, yeah, this one doesn't have a MySQL database. Which one uses a MySQL database? It's a 2D6 dungeon app. Anyway, you were forced before to say add server, create database. Oh no, like you could, I was creating the database in my script. Yeah, in fact, that's how I, earlier I was showing my, my blog. Whoops. I even wrote blog posts about that. I published that this week. So yeah, I was saying like, so before you create here, you say add database, but it doesn't really have a database. So now it will. That's pretty cool, because before what I was doing is like I was running a SQL script to create everything. Right? So if we look, I create the server. I was doing that. I'm not sure what it was doing. Oh yeah, it was creating the resource, but it was not creating the database inside the server. And then I was like using this init bind mount to pass script, and in my SQL script I had like create database db2d6, and then I was creating, and I was also populating it. So what I could do now in the future is remove that create from my script and use that instead. Though I feel like SQL should be in SQL, but then, you know, if I'm running that command, I already have the line, I need it. So I guess then I should leverage what it's supposed to be doing. Pretty cool. I'm happy. It was already doing where it was doing that for the. It was already doing that for SQL Server in Postgres, so now it does it for MySQL, and Mongo doesn't need that apparently, and Oracle is not yet supported. I think that would be cool. I think I will change that. Since I have the line, I need the resource. Why not, right? I don't use Entity Framework, but like if people are using Entity Framework, I'm assuming it was like very problematic, because like you're not populating with SQL script, you were using C#, but then like you didn't have any database. So now you will have everything. Oh, I think that would be cool. Dashboard Delight. Oh yeah, there's Copilot. That, I think that would be cool. So it's a dev tool, right? So it's supposed to be helping us driving, doing more stuff when we're developing in the process and investigating and stuff like that. I think it's a very smart, like I saw some comments online saying like, whoa, Copilot again, like they push AI, everything to help, like look through logs and understand what's happening. I think AI is fantastic, honestly. So I think that's a good move to put it there. It's a dev tool. It's there to help you go faster, spend less time understanding the logs. You could have to aggregate those. Like there's a lot you could do. I click on the Copilot. It says VS Code or VS needs to be installed. and you're using Rider, right? But Copilot is now, maybe like try it next week. I think it was what's her name? I forgot her name. Oh, what's her name? What's her name? I have a blank. I think I heard Catty. Let's go at the beginning. Yeah, I think I heard Katie, sorry, Savage, saying that Copilot was now accessible from VS Resolve. So I'm guessing. But TBD, you don't even have VS Code installed on your machine. Like I get, like a bigger, more with more bells and whistles, like a Visual Studio or Rider, love it, or like other if there's others. Like I only know those two, but I'm sure there's others. But like when you're looking for a quick editor, VS Code is pretty cool. So you don't even have VS Code installed? Also, like I saw that yesterday. I need to, yeah, we'll probably do a video about that. Did you see this news? So Microsoft just rewrite and Rust edit. So now you have in a terminal, so you could edit a task. You know, like before you could edit, like, you know, in Linux. I'm streaming always on Linux. So if I do something, I have Nano or like have NeoVim and NeoVim and or Vim and like other, but like in Windows you didn't have anything native, and now they have the edit. It's super quick, it's extremely light, and like there's no mode, so like getting out is easy because, you know, not be able to get out of that. So Christopher just published this week. I'm assuming they talked about it during at Build. I missed the news, but and it's the same thing as Windows Terminal. So like they do things right. That'll be fun. I think Mike was also working on that. Mouse support also, so that's pretty good. This rewriting and rusting is worrying. Not the first time MS has done this recently. Why is it .NET capable? I'm trying to. There's a lot of stuff. So a lot of Windows native things are done in C, C++, TBD. And so it's lower in the machine and stuff like that, if I would say, than C# for performance. for the space and stuff like that. I think, do you know like do you watch Scott and Rizanovich? Is it Ensenman? Let me check YouTube. Probably. Did I type it right? No. Yeah. Oh, I put a D, I think, before. This, the Scott and Mark learn. There was one episode. I wish I could tell you, listen to that one. Was it public speaking? Maybe the history? I forgot. But Mark said it also at Build on his talk. Yeah, so and he says everything new being written should be right in Rust in Rust instead of like C or C++, because it's better. Like I'm not like a Rust developer though. It excites me. It looks cool, but you know, there's only a limited amount of hours in a day, so I decided to focus on more .NET. And I think with all the AI stuff and where I am in my career and what I do, like if I'm learning another language, it might be more Python or something like that. To like something I don't know that I will have. I don't know Python. I know a lot of different languages, but I don't know Python. I can read it, but I cannot write it. But anyway, so at some point, Mark explained a little bit more in one of those podcasts. So if you're already looking into it, maybe it will trigger some memory, or watch Mark's talk at Build. And I think at some point he says something like, yeah, if it was me, oh yeah, what's the problem with this? It's not written in Rust. Something like that. So that's okay. So I get it for like the tooling and like stuff, and why not .NET. So this editor it will be included in Windows. So, and we're trying to reduce the size of Windows. So it needs to be super small, super light, work in different stuff and things like that. And I think because you're building it, I'm assuming now we could use it. I wonder if we could use it on Linux. I'm guessing yes. Or maybe I could install it. That would be cool. Instead of using Nano, could use that. Though Nano is native, but well, like there was a blog post where they say they write it in I think they write it in TypeScript. No, they write it in they write it in like, hey Fragbird, hello. Let's wait. Come on, yeah, maybe, yeah. Yes, sir. So don't touch anything today. Fragbird, job done. Wonderful. Highlight of the week. So later today on Clark stream, the win of the win. The win of the week, I landed 88. That's a good 88 55. So 8855. It's a good score. Pretty good in GT sub. GT sub just keep blending. Yeah, you should clip that, Surly, and just like add it to the clip we have. I think on my channel I have like clips of when frag birds land, and like even did you know that fragbird? I did a thumbnail of one of my video, and it's you. Did you know that? You want to see it? What is it again? 8? No. This. Oop, I don't want to go on top of that, but voila! That time when Fragbird landed. Okay, let's try. So yeah, I think so. I'm glad you liked it. You know, it's better to have fun with it, right? That's a branch of my digital French code that I hadn't run time on. Oh, I love it. Oh yeah, it's true. He had like special code, right, when he's landing. Well, if you don't drop again today, I think CB will put you in as the luckiest or biggest winner today, Fragbird. Yeah, so TBD, like I will give it, like I quickly, as soon as I saw that, like I was half the blog post of Christopher blog post, and I installed it so you could do win-get install and stuff like that. But oh man, nice. I'm always very happy to have you on my stream too. I feel like I'm a stranger when I go to your stream because it's all like bike people. I'm like, I like bike, I do bike. But like my streams are like more tech stuff, so I'm always like, I feel like the intruder. Like I'm not supposed to be here, but I will play nice. But I'm always happy, like, damn, you bike a lot. I'm always impressed. Developer love the inside. Yep, so you could use that. Other updates. What was the other update? So introduce the context menu. Oh, that's cool. Provide quick access to resource telemetry. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So like from there, you can say, hey, stop this, trace that, go there. Oh, that's nice. I like that. Restart. Like that. Oh yeah, of course. I stopped my yeah, I'm assuming like on this stream here, there's other people that not necessarily like .NET developer or like Azure developer, and just kind of like, you know, I'm for like you scroll on and like you watch for a few minutes and stuff like that. It's all good. Yeah, it go both ways, guys. Well, I think you know what, like if we turn it on the positive side, it just showed that streams, like it's a community. It helps you, like, you know, like it's inspiring. You see people saying, oh yeah, like I should do this, and like, you know, maybe, you know, or maybe you just feel bad and that's it. But yeah. Okay, dependencies are invisible. So now you could, what? Previously the dependency were invisible under the trace page. Yeah, this page, like for me, like I need to spend time to understand more how can I say that? Let's say you have a bug. I understand the bug, the error, and like the stack of popping up and stuff like that. I understand that what's happening in the code, and like reading it from that visual, because a lot of time when I see that, I'm just looking for like the red stuff, and then I jump into the log and like investigate that. But this visual, I'm sure there's a lot of things in there that I could right away understand, and I never spend the time to dig into it. But yeah, that, like, so now it's cool. So they put that, remembering the state. Okay, cool. But that will be cool also, like if they put filters and stuff like that. That's cool. I like the clean and the delete, because sometimes you run, you have an error. It's okay, cool. Now you could clear everything and say run again. So like you could have like a new trace to catch it. You think I don't feel stupid for coding? I do. I think you need to embrace, like that's my 2 cents. Like one of the reasons why I start streaming was I was doing a lot of video, and when you see the video, like 5 minutes, everything is just perfect. Everything works perfectly. I click at the good spot and stuff like that. And people thought like, damn, like he's a robot, like he's a human compiler and stuff like that. No, I did it like 20 times before this. It took me an hour to record a 5 minutes video. So that's why I started doing this stream, where I could show that even if like have gray hair, I still do mistakes. I'm still learning. I still like and help younger to see how I approach problems and stuff like that. And that there's multiple ways to get where you want to go and stuff like that. And now these days when I do video, I leave on purpose a few error or imperfection, well, like because I do them, I don't do error on purpose, but like I leave them there in purpose just to kind of like show that, yeah, I'm human, I'm making mistakes. Well, you know. Nice shot, Frankfurt. You'll have a community behind you through. Yeah, it's true. And the how many times the chat helped me investigating problem and we solve it together. It's true. RJ, so true. Like you have a full community. So TBD, the hardest one are the first ones, and as you're going, I think, well, you know, you stream, even if it's bike, the hardest is to get started. Once you start, you just keep rolling. Like my wife this morning was like, why are you streaming? I said, well, yeah, I'm streaming. Say, yeah, but like, you shouldn't have. And I was like, that was never part of my work. Streaming, it's my me time. I'm learning, I'm experimenting, I'm sharing, I'm, you know, in the community and like having fun. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So the one thing, did I jump? Yeah, I was like, that's not the blog post. Yeah, okay, it remembers an instrument resource appear and to trace, that will be cool. Oh yeah, I think I switch at some point. I switch blog post, so we're back into the docs. The one thing I was very excited also, like there's Matrix, is about the deployment. Wow, that's the part. Took me an hour to get there. But there's a lot of, I told you like there was a lot of stuff, right? But yeah, and like I do mistakes. Now I embrace it totally. Like let's push it. So I published a video this week, but I also did like the blooper part of it. So I'll put both in the chat. Come on. It was dark. Why was it so dark? Just notice. Is it my screen? It's dark, right? Oh, maybe I kept my green screen filter and I was not using a green screen. Maybe that's why. Okay, so improvement in the in preview publisher model, compute. So like that's a part that was really exciting me. I've been playing with the Docker Compose publisher because it's great that Aspire, like what's nice about Aspire is like it simplify your life when you are a developer, right? It like create all the container, fetch the container, create a container, and do the binding. All the ports and connection string and stuff are piped to the other resources automatically, and like it's all very simplified. Then when it's time to deploy into Azure, one of the good where is my sounds effect? I need to change that. Let's take back. One of my, oh yeah, okay, so one of my, the tool I think every developer should use is AZD. This is the CLI. You do AZD up and it will publish to Azure very simply. And it looks at what you have on-prem to deploy. So it's asking the manifest, Aspire manifest to deploy the resources. So now you could, with AZD, do AZD infra synth to synthesize your, and I think in the video I just share, say set all the time instead of sit for synthesize, whatever. Like that word is hard to say in English for me. It's just like, it's not hard. It's just very, very close than the French version. So I kind of like, I say an hybrid and it's like, it sounds wrong. So yeah, so you could generate the, they say synthesize, but it generates the biceps file. So the infrastructure as code for your container and stuff like that. So you could change everything, the bind mount, the mount definition, the scale, instance, maximum, minimum. You can change everything you want. And you can now also do like add Docker Compose publisher and it will generate the Docker Compose file. So if you want to deploy locally, you can. And one thing I really like about this right now, that new version, is you can mix and match. So you had this and you specify an environment, Docker environment and stuff like that. And now you could say, hey, like deploy that resource in that environment, deploy that resource in that environment. And I think it's pretty cool. And that's what I was planning to mess with today. I think it could be used also in the URL shortener, but today I thought, let's go play with the note bookmark. Where is it? There it is. Note bookmark. So like the editor could be on-prem or something like that. And like, since I think this is a cool project, but most of it run locally, or I think they will have some resources could be running locally. I think also maybe I want to add some AI at some point that could help us kind of like write an introduction paragraph or something like that, or like just have some fun, not summarize. Like that was like, some people were like, yeah, like generate like a summary of like that article. It's like, yeah, but that's not why I built that. I built that to keep tracks of my thoughts, not the AI generated thoughts. So like, yeah, could do that, but I'm not interested. So do a PR. Should have said that to the person suggesting that. But like, I'm sure there's otherwise, check the grammar, whatever. Like there's other tools we could use, but like running the AI just for that into the cloud, I'm not sure it's a great idea, but like, I think it's those things we could use AI for this project are not hard, so we could run a model locally. So that could be cool. And there's also another news, I saw that today, that it's not, I knew before, but let's say I read the article today about AI Foundry local. So that would be cool. So I think we could use that in this. So I think having some resources running locally will be pretty cool. So yeah, so now with that, you could like say your environment, it support Kubernetes. I don't do Kubernetes yet. Maybe I should. I started to have like a lot of containers, and the other day I was like, how can I save money? So I wonder if like putting that in like a Kubernetes cluster in Azure will help me to be a little bit more. Yeah, I need to. Maybe I should do that. Like, I like optimizing the cost of stuff, and like now I have a lot of containers. So if I regroup them, will I save money? Not sure. But anyway, so you could specify now where part of your project are getting deployed. So I think that's pretty cool. In 2D6 Dungeon, was it 2D6 Dungeon? No, I did it in the I did it in another project. I did it for repos, a little own project for my daughter. So the day until next event is like it's a Raspberry Pi project. It's in MicroPython, and it's a light like that, and it's kind of like a countdown, visual countdown, and but like you could go now like count day, countdown, like from the right, from the left, reverse, whatever, change your color. I built an interface for her, so she could decide everything. But that little interface, I could run it here in a container and just like she access it, right? The only problem right now is I'm deploying it into maybe TBD, maybe TBD, or other, maybe chat. Like quick question for you, chat. So right now, this app doesn't have any security. When I deploy it, I use the Azure Container Apps Easy Auth. So I secure the full app because of Azure. Like you cannot get there. Is there a simple way to add authentication so I could expose that and like it's a user password, something like that? So my daughter, knowing the secret handshake, could get in, but not Fragbird. Just throwing your names to here. So yeah. So for this project, what I did is I totally use, if we go in next event, I think it would be there. So I have now a Docker Compose file, and that was generated, and see there's infra there. Let's open this. I'll show you. Yeah. So I have my Docker Compose file that was generated by the Aspire CLI. It's a simple one, right? But like the ports and stuff, the connection. So it used a .event file. So you like, it's not present here because I push it, but like you have a .event, and it will just read the data, like the name of the event, the name of the container and the connection string to the blob storage, and it will just work. In the infra, in app host, there's now an infra, and you have the YAML file that describe all the stuff for the container. Like, because like it's only one user and she's not like, it's a configuration file. So like, it's like once every month, I don't know, like how often she go there. So I say, you know what, like turn to 0. And I told my daughter, well, you know, when you get to that website, it will take a few seconds to get up. But yeah, but now if I want to expose it from like a regular container services, I need to add UT in it. And I wasn't sure how to do that. I don't want something fancy. I was like, is there like a simple way to add authentication in a container or in an app or something? I don't know. If you have ideas, let me know. Let's finish this. So yeah, so here they support computer environment. So the supported compute environment. So Docker Compose, love it. That's what I used. Kubernetes, obviously, I think that was this one was a must. I'm not using it because I don't do Kubernetes yet, but I know that Kubernetes is awesome. Like it's just, I don't think I'm using it. The reason why I'm not doing it right now is 99% of the projects I do are not big enough to go in Kubernetes. I don't need that, but it is great. And then my friend George created like a bunch of video on the Open Microsoft with different tools and stuff like that. Really cool. Azure Container Apps environment. That's pretty cool. Oh, so if I specify that, let's specify that. Yeah. Then there's a app service if you're using a regular app service. I think those are also very useful. Docker Compose enhancement. So you could do that now. You could specify like a bunch of different stuff when you're doing a container. You could specify like all the Docker Compose with like the label, the environment variable, and things like that. So you could do a lot. So when it's spit out the stuff, it's all the way you want. Map the parameters and expression into Docker Compose. Yeah, they had it like that. I was so surprised to see how much they packed stuff in that thing. Like, I know David was like, wanted to do all that, but like, it's a question of priorities at some point, right? David Fowler, like, he wanted to do all that like long time ago, but then like, it's just priorities. You need to go with the mass and like work on the priorities and make sure like the feature you're pushing is ready. But yeah, super cool. I'm very happy. So like, we'll have some fun saying the label, environment variable, the restart. So I think I will be using that. So what's the difference? So that was, okay, the definition, but was the expression, map parameters and expression. So service container name, okay, so it could be this. Not sure. The one feature I want for them to provide profiles so you can start up everything or start a select. Oh yeah, that would be cool. It's true. Yeah. Oh, and they don't have anything Yeah, well, yeah. The way I do it right now was to comment the line in the app host. But yeah, I wish they had that. One thing I would like also is to be able to pass. Like, I think it's profile, but like when you're deploying. So for example, when I'm deploying, maybe I want to deploy everything, or maybe I want the light version and just deploy like a subset of stuff, or like deploy with like some things on-prem. So I would like to be able to change what's in the app host based on some inside parameter and like have a different deployments set up. Now, maybe I use this t-shirt and I still have dog there. We trimmed the dogs and maybe that's scratching. What's like, no, Marcus. I think what TBD mean is more like sometime you want like all the stuff to be deployed, or maybe right now you're just running and like working on the API, so you don't need the front end, like you don't need the backup, the blah blah blah, the other services. You just want your database and your API that you work on, like so like only 2 service, not like 10 of your solution. So you could have like create a profile and just start those projects. So one way to have a different setup. Hi. Hey, Blazer, Mr. Magoo. Hello, welcome aboard. So one way, Marcus, that you could have different setup when you deploy is using AZD. You could create different environment. In AZD, when you do AZD init, it will ask you the name of that environment. So you give it a name. So you could say prod, and like you deploy, and it will be your production. Though I'm guessing prod may be like a little bit more automated environment. But then like you create a different environment, and then you can change the file, and it will use those values when it's deploying. So like you could change the size of the container, how many replica and stuff like that. So you could use AZD, because Aspire, it's not about the deployment part, it's about the definition of your service, right? The deployment is not Aspire, though this here help the publishing, so it's running. It's not necessarily, it will be used also for like obviously, right? But yeah, so AZD could help you a lot doing that. If you look, you could have multiple environments. That's what I do, and it can generate also your pipeline files and stuff like that. But I wonder if you're using it, I'm guessing you could inject some parameter and like have different values. That's cool. But yeah, I'm sure they will get there. You know, Aspire is so young. It's just 0.3. It's 1.3 in fact, right? So yeah, so I'm trying to understand here. So publish as Docker Compose service, so you pass resources and service. So the service, add a container, service, Nginx. Container name param as environment placeholder resource. I'm not sure I get it. The key API here is as environment placeholder, which shall aspire to emit a compose variable. Oh. Oh, that's cool. That's exactly what we were just talking about, right? So as environment placeholder, we'll have to try that. Okay, param1, add parameter. Container param. Okay, so this as environment. Okay, wow. Wow, that's cool. Yeah, that's nice. It's a bit meta, but I like that. Yeah, well, it looks like we won't be coding that much today. But yeah, that's fine. I think it was important to spend time in Aspire 9.3 because there's so much stuff in it. Kubernetes manifest customization. Let's read. I have no clue what it is because, like I said multiple times, I'm not a user that much of Kubernetes. It's a great thing. Just have 2 small projects to use it. And I will be in the corner. Oh no, not hitting like the corner. Cool. So you had your environment, default image policy. So many people landed. Man, 95. How was your score? I forgot the score of Fragburn. TBD, you didn't land today? Sony Eagle neither? I thought you did. Oh yeah, 88. So it's called by mistake. So it's a digital friends who oh, look at, that was close though. That was close. Okay, so yeah, the Aspire CLI enhancement. So that's pretty cool. So you could install it with .NET Tool, and then like you could do Aspire Run, Aspire Add, Aspire Publish, Aspire Run. I'm guessing it's like F5. Oh, that's cool. Wait a second. Can you Aspire Add? Is it how we could have like a profile TBD? The CLI now walks upward from the current directory, recursively searching each level for the app host project. Once located, it caches the result into the .aspire folder to speed up the future commands. Oh yeah, I missed that, Marcus. Sorry. Well, you need, and cool by mistake, like beat the score. It was already leading. You need to wait until I think it's 90 seconds. When the how do we call that? The target vanish, then you can try again. Yeah. So Aspire Run from directory in your so you can now run the command like Aspire Run, Aspire Add, Aspire Publish from any directory within your solution, and the CLI will resolve the app host automatically. Okay, it just like it will find the other. Okay, that's cool. I was thinking like if you are in like a subfolder, you do that. Will it only start like this and the dependencies? That would be cool. Oh, maybe that's it. Maybe you should try that, TBD. Go in a specific folder and just like do Aspire Run, see if it start everything or just like the dependencies of like the project you're in. Because like then what Aspire Add does. Do I have a Oh, I didn't finish my updates, apparently. We'll let it finish and we'll come back. Health aware dashboard. Yeah, that would be cool. Azure GUI, so Azure App Service. That's nice. So like having the app service, that's cool. Preview limitation. I think that's a cool, nice stuff. So like right now, if you want to deploy into app service, you could. App service, a lot of people don't know, but app service support containers since forever. It's the only one who supports Windows container. Am I right? Yeah, it's the only service to support Windows container. And you could have also multiple container in one app service. So like if it's they will share the resources, but like that's fine if like depending on the project. It's not for all projects, but yeah, very useful. Still going. Using an existing Azure Container Registry also, that's cool, I think. So you could have one single Azure Container Registry. That's the one thing I was not sure, and I was like, I need to try that again. Trying to, like, I have so many Cloud 5 in its project, and I was like, maybe I could have like just one Azure Container Registry, but like then it's open source. So let's say you are trying to deploy 2D6 Dungeon app or the URL shortener. Like, obviously that will be like different. Well, like so. I don't know. So I feel like that could be cool to like use an existing one. Well, that's it. Well played. Where'd that thing come from? Sorry, Dev. Where'd that well played come from? Do you know? Do you remember? You have so many cool emoji. So here you're creating the Azure Container Registry. Oh yeah, so in my case, I never specified the Azure Container Registry. 94! I had like 60 or something like that. Oh no, I had just a little bit more than GT initially, right? I think. At 94, that's a great score. I'm up there with the leaders. What's the price? The fame. That's the price. Azure free credits? I wish. You know, I pay my stuff too. That's why I'm like so like, hey, let's build something budget friendly. I just pay just like everybody, and even more now. So yeah, so before I was letting. Oh, so I wonder when you run locally, what's happening? Right? So ACR build add Azure Container App Environment. This, whoops. I like that. So I could, but how does it know? This model, the ACR model in Aspire and used by the Container Apps environment. But the ACR is model in Aspire and used by the Container Apps environment. Okay, cool. Aspire publish the build image to my ACR configure app container app build from it. Well, but like, how does it find that one? ACR works with multiple compute environment. This gives you consistent control over where images are published. Love that though. Use run as existing, publish as existing. Oh, I like that. So I could group all my images and I have just like one cloud 5 minutes ACR. That could be cool. Resource deep link. Oh, that was requested for a long time for blob containers. I think that's cool. So add storage emulator. I love that. I love that so much. And then you had a blob. You had like your blob container image. So now you have a specific. So like for your image upload and stuff like that, now you could reference that specific one. You don't need in your code. So yeah, like I'm having this, blah, blah, blah. You just like, no, use that URL. Pretty cool. Love that. So in the project, you just say upload, like container image, and then like you upload them down. Like that's awesome. I love that. Love that a lot. And even that code snippet is, who wrote? Of course it's David. Of course it's David. This guy is smart. Sorry. Not related to what I was saying. David is smart. Where are we? Kubernetes, we read that. The Azure goodie, we read that. It's going forever. Oh yeah, the what? App configuration. That's cool. So now you can do that right away. That's cool. So if you have some feature that like, hey, feature enable and stuff, you could just specify that. You just say, hey, add Azure app configuration and just like do that. That's pretty cool. Secure multiple app access to Azure SQL. Breaking changes. Oh, I was not using that before. I was using MySQL, but I know SQL Server, Azure SQL, they are doing a lot of stuff. Did you see they released the new schema compare in VS Code? There's a lot of tooling that's comes out also. Really, really cool. So that's part 9.2, using multiple projects in the same container, suddenly breaking the app's identity model. Okay, so now they fix it. So you need to a DB owner. Okay, cool. I think it's cool. Oh yeah, yay! You don't need to change it. It's like by default. That's cool. You know, because it's like when you're developing, you're often just want a little something. A little something. So like having a free SKU makes sense. You don't have all the feature, that's fine because you're just developing. Hi, man, I'm lucky too, GT. Keep blending. AZD, major improvement in the CI/CD for Aspire. So when dramatically improve how AZD configure the CI/CD pipeline for Aspire-based application. These updates directly address one of the most frustrating pain point report by the community, managing the environment parameter and securely predictable across environment. Yeah, that would be cool. Aspire app are increasingly parameter driven. Using infrastructure defines settings like connection string, runtime version, app keys, and feature flag. Getting those values safely and consistently into the CI pipeline and GitHub Action historically been difficult. This has been fixed. That'll be cool. Like definitely looking for that. And who was talking about like the different environment? Was he Marcus? Forgot who was mentioning that. I have no idea how to keep on top of all this stuff. I'm looking through the changes as well. Just too much to take in. Bring back the good old day of like no. I think it's like, yeah. I think going like, I think what I'm doing right now, and that's why I decided to spend like 2 hours. Like that will be the stream today. I think that's what I'm assuming you're also doing, TBD, is like going through this and say, oh, I could use this and blah, blah, blah. And then you prioritize that in your project. Like, is it worth it spending time to improve that part of your project, where it goes in your priorities? And like, you don't need to use it, but it's there. And when you start a new project, maybe you will use it, maybe not. Like it will be there. I don't know. Just ask Copilot to summarize it and then forget it. Yeah. I mean, like, it's not going too much into the details, and sometimes just like, hey, like it does that. And it's like, I don't understand. Like even stuff that I was looking for, like see Aspire, like the CLI Aspire ad. I still don't know what it does, right? If I do, oh, I didn't install it. Oh, I didn't install it. Also this week, I told you I start learning my my typing, my tap without typing on the keyboard without looking. And I bought this, and I was trying to do it with that. Ooh, I still don't know my typing, so sometimes I had like you see me right now. I'm still looking. I was so slow. I decided it was not a good idea to stream using that. No, it's .NET tool. I think it was there in the post here, right? It was .NET tool. There it is. Copilot, look at my code. Look at this release note. You change what you did. Well, you could have a try and like let me know. Oh, like yeah, like there's there's in code space now. You could assign item issues to Copilot, and it will start on its own, like working on that and making a PR. Did you see those demos at Build? That was pretty cool. I think like for upgrading version and stuff like that, I think that will be pretty awesome. Okay, so let's clear. And that. Add an integration to Aspire project. Oh, okay, it's the right click, add this. Oh, that's cool. Split keyboard breaks my brain. I just thought it's totally because I think they look cool. Okay, like every time I see someone just like, I'm like, oh, that look awesome. I would like to be like that. But I don't know my typing, so I need to learn how to type. So I bought like a, hey, what's the, how do I pronounce your names? Let me. Thank you for the follow, Make on TV. So yeah, so I just think it looks cool, and I thought so it will help me maybe having a better posture. You know, it could be like this, a little bit more like this instead of like being like this. What is it? It's the Voyager from ZSA. Yeah, that one. Welcome behind my cloud, mister. Well, like Mac on TV, I don't know how you identify. But yeah, so it's a pretty cool one. Lot of like RGB stuff in it. It's a low profile. I thought it could be cool, like to if I want to travel and bring it. Though I don't think I will be traveling soon now. But yeah. So it's cable because like I think it was very it's a lot done by design. Let me bring it back here. So like there's that big cable. Oh, let's go so like there's let's go so you see the front, not the back. So like this is it, right? So there's that big cable. So it could go whatever you want. And then you have 3 different cables to plug it, like a USB-C. So if it's a laptop, like on the image here, you don't need to have a long cable, but if you want, yeah. On this one, huh? Here you hear echo, huh? Let me fix that. Oh, you shouldn't. Oh yeah, Elgato United. Should be fixed now, right? No more echo? Yeah. Yeah, I tried to, I told you I tried to do stuff earlier today and it wasn't working very well. Yeah, so you have different cable length of cable to plug to your computer. If you need to get to your computer, or if you're just running it like this, then the cable doesn't need to be very long. You also have like a foot, and it's very well done. Like it's using magnet. It just snapped, and like there's little. It's way too small. Little notch. So like a like a foot cannot go where it's not supposed to be because they're like design on it. Let me show you. I think they did it very, very well. It's so well designed. So see, like there's little stud, and the other side there's a pattern. You see like the arrow with 2 lines. Another foot will have a little arrow with only 1. So like you know exactly where they go. You could also, like you see the middle section here. So if you have like, you could put them like on stands. So like if you're working, standing and stuff like that, like, I don't know, with like, I think they have an example where they are with like a music instrument and stuff. So you could have them setting. Anyway, it's pretty cool, super thin. They had like white and black. You could customize everything with multiple layers. I'm not sharing my screen. Oh, Frank. Super thin. I was looking for something. I was not looking for something very bulky. I like my. But right now, I really like my 60% keyboard, honestly. But yeah, and it's customizable. So right now, like I had a 3-layer stuff. Still will need to learn. And I just ordered some shocks. That's how they call that. It's like a little thing that will make the sound a little bit less not clicky, because I bought the brown one, but like you still make a lot of noise because you hit the bottom. So with those, like it's something like rubbery, so like it will bounce a little bit more. Swappable, so you could do a bunch of stuff. Like it's pretty cool. RGB is customizable. Everything is customizable, obviously. Really great. And they have other keyboard. They have like they have other keyboards. 3, I think. The Moonlander, I think, is also very popular. See, like, but it's bigger, more bulky. That other one was low profile. That one is like regular profile. Maybe I would have been more comfortable on that one because I'm more used to like the bulkiness of the keys and everything. But I don't know. And that one is just crazy. Like a big thumb cluster. I don't know. I like it. And they have like pretty cool stuff. And it's Canadian company. Sorry, Mekanji TV took long to read your message. I'm searching for C# streamer and creator. What are you working on? So like another great, like I think it's a must to follow. It's Jeff Fritz. If you don't know him on the Twitch, you should, because he's part of the .NET team. There's TBD Gamer here in the chat that is also streaming. It's always .NET, right, TBD Gamer? So like let's do a shout out to TBD. TBD. Voila. And Jeff Fritz. And what I was working on, well, today is a little bit different stream. I usually work on a lot of different projects. So we work on the URL shortener. It's a cool project that just create short URLs and like just like Bitly and the others, but like you own everything, own all the data, all the statistics, everything is like owned by you, and it's very budget friendly. So we created that. I use that. It's used now by multiple clients and stuff like that. So pretty cool project. We worked sometime on a 2D6 dungeon app. It's a dungeon crawler game, kind of a companion app for like a paper dice game where like you roll the dice and like draw the map and like move and like stuff like that. So it's a game in books, but then I create like kind of a, it's not a full version of, I never intend to be a full version. Maybe it will come. I know like Toby was really interested to have it like kind of like a specific thing. We'll see how it goes. Today I was planning to like, there's plenty of projects, like everything is open source. So you could go in my GitHub repo. So github/f_boucher, BOUCHER, and you will see the projects. Today, because it was Microsoft Build this week, and they released Aspire 9.3, we spent there was so much stuff in it that we spent 2 hours digging into what's new and stuff like that, and we didn't have the time to code to implemented those. But I'm sure I will, because I'm very excited about that. Oh, you do Angular. Oh, yeah, I think you had like your front end is in Angular, right? But yeah, so TBD, great. Share. There's One Lion also. That stream often, extremely very well. How can I say that? Like he explained very well everything it does. A lot on the data side these days. Streaming in .NET. Who else streamed .NET? C#. There's a few creators. Like there's more and more, so that's cool. I used to have an ergo dog. Suppose I still have it. Oh yeah, like yeah, that's cool. Like I like my favorite keyboard. It's super heavy. It's this one. It's super heavy. I bought it as at the TBD no keyboard fan. I forgot what it is. I think it's that. So it's a tofu something like and then like I had like brass plate, aluminum frame, brown switches. The only thing I didn't think about is when I ordered the switches, and they are like solar switches, I didn't pick brown that are translucent. So even if there's RGB, like it don't go through. I'm not like a big RGB guy, but like, you know, the plate was RGB and like I killed it putting not RGB switches. No, was it? Whatever. Like I forgot to like let the light go through. I love this one. I bought this one recently for a low profile, so it's a Newfie. Like it though, I have a struggle with like the keys, the arrow keys. I'm used to have my custom where I just like if I hit shift on my other keyboard here, it's a 60%, but if I hit shift just like quickly, it's a arrow up. If I hold it, it's shift and stuff like that. So my keys are there, so they're bigger. On this one, I feel it's tiny. So sometimes I want to do something and I do something else. I use a 36 key core. No, seriously, Fragbird? No, you're joking, right? You're joking every day or using it every day? Seriously, 36 keys? You're a masochist. You have all my respect. Well, that's good. I know what it is. Just bring an image for those who don't know what it is. It looked amazing. Honestly, I was tempted by this one, the bigger version of it. I think what's the extra row for the numbers. But I think you need to build it. Am I right? I heard there was almost no talk about AI on build, and yeah, no, there was a lot of talk about. I was watching a video this morning. I think it's from an MVP. I don't know what it is. I don't want to go, and I thought there was another one with. Maybe it's not the corn then? Or MX? No. Maybe it was that one? I forgot. I didn't watch. I watched the edited version of the keynote for Google I/O. I thought it was cool. I think the video editor and stuff like that was like impressive. Their AI stuff was cool. I want to try it, honestly. I thought it was cool. I'm enjoying more and more working with AI to create stuff, so it could do the boring stuff and I can like just like serve the fun and like think and like put the piece together and like code if I decide, and if I get tired of that, just like use AI to like finish it. I enjoy a lot using AI that way. I don't have yet the reflex to put AI in my apps by default. I need to think about like, oh, what can I do with AI inside it? But I think it's just a question of time for me to do it. Yeah, you won't be disappointed. Mate, TBD stream mostly every morning, I think. Weekdays. Fuel, I assume you forgot yours. Are you also streaming .net? Fuel? I thought you're very active on multiple channel, but I didn't think you were streaming. I had to build this one. I haven't really looked since I got one 3 years ago. Yeah, so like that was the one thing I didn't feel to like build it. And at my work we have money that we could use for health or like activity, outdoor activity and stuff, and I was kind of in a rush, and like I was losing my, you have 1 year, so every year you have like a specific amount. I didn't know, so I use that money to pay part of like that keyboard because it's ergonomic, so it was working kind of like. Ely 58, I don't know. Was it the Ely 58? I don't see it. Oh, maybe it's not by this company. I don't know, like what I remember was like having that thingy here, but it was like a row, like the number row was there. I had AI overload last week. Last 2 days at work, yeah. That was a lot of AI. What's when the hype of Aspire, by the way? I'm still learning, but oh yeah, no problem. Use Aspire instead of Docker and Docker code. No, so okay, it's a good question. So why Aspire instead of Docker? It's not an instead. The AI generator is scaring me. Well, yeah, but let's talk about Aspire and Docker. So Aspire is not instead of Docker. Aspire is an orchestrator, and it helps you to define your solution using C# code. So as a C# developer, I'm building cloud native application, and so I'm using multiple containers and stuff like that. And then like I need to learn different languages, different technology to package everything and like deploy them and run them. And like now, like I don't understand why the connection string, and I need to remember, and like, so Aspire is an orchestrator. So think about Aspire a little bit more like a Docker Compose file, where like it knows like all your system in it and how they should talk to each other and stuff like that. So that's what .NET Aspire will do. So if we look quickly into the code, so when you have, well, let's go bigger though. So we'll go in this corner. Let's go in the center. Yeah. So let's make this bigger. Well, not that big. Okay, so this is my solution right now. So I have my front end here. It's the Blazor app, this one. I have an API, so this is the API, and then like I have the domain that is just kind of a library, a package, you know, just like that contain all the definition of my classes and stuff like that, that I share between the front end of the back end. And then to have Aspire, you had a app host, so that will be the definition. So in there, there's like a program file, right? It's just kind of a console application if you want. That's what it's looked like. So I will come back to this. The second project you had is the service default. The service default, it's all customizable, but by default, it contains all the best practices that Microsoft think you should use for a .NET project that is cloud native with like the retry policies and like telemetry that generates and all that. So it gives you, a lot of that by default, and then you could add and customize it. In your app host, if we look here at the code, so here say, hey, I will be building a distributed application, right? Cloud native, whatever. And then say, hey, add storage, so an Azure storage, so it knows when it will be deploying, it will go create the resource in Azure and populate that. If I'm running locally, I just hit F5, or now with the CLI, I could just do Aspire start, and it'll create all the container and will pass the connection string and the ports and all those things. I don't have to manage that. Aspire will take care of it. So the difference of like using Aspire is Aspire will talk to Docker, or what's the other one? My keyboard is battery low. Forgot the other one. What was the other very popular or gaining in popularity Docker tool, the container tool? I forgot what it is. Pod is Podman. Yeah, Podman. Thank you, Mr. Regu. So Aspire works with Podman too. So we'll talk to those tools and just like generate that. So like it's not taking over Docker. It's just like in terms of like for a developer, I define using language I know. So I say here, when I'm creating my API, I say, hey, pass reference from table and from blob. When I'm having my front end, my Blazor app, say, hey, with a reference of API, I just do that. And now inside my app, I just say, hey, call API, and it will find the URL in the port and it will just work for me. So as a developer, it simplifies my life a lot. Also, it has like a built-in dashboard. So when you deploy locally, you can see all your resources. You have, where is it? Well, I think it was like you have schema. Could go here. Yeah. Boom. You have a schema like this that you could use, like trace, stuff like that. And now they also put Copilot in there, so you could ask Copilot, hey, what's happening with the logs and stuff like that. So you have all that, and you have all the open telemetry that is open. So it simplifies so much the life of a developer when you're building your app and just like want to run it, change, coded it, and like push it, like, you know. And then one thing you could do when you want to deploy is use AZD, so at the Azure Developer CLI, to then deploy it, because Aspire is just for like, it's a dev tool. It's not to deploy. People are like confusing that, though. It will provide all the information to the other tools to deploy that. Another thing is in Aspire, let's say you want a database, you just say add database, the type of your database, and you have a database running in a container. So that's cool. It's, all the piping is kind of done for you. But it's a great question. AI video generator scares me. I think like, yeah, I think anything could be scary these days because there's always good people and there's like people will try to abuse it. I think fundamentally is a great tool to, again, like, hey, find the silence and just like remove all the silence, or like adjust all this, or like do that, or add I know I would like to have like this, and like it just generate that part. But obviously people will try to push it to the limit, and I think you need to do that, right? That's why they do rally races, so like to push the limit, or like F1, that's what those races exist. So by pushing the limits, then in our cars that we bought, like buy and drive, and you know, then like those can improve, you know, by pushing the limit. So I think I'm curious to see what it goes. I just thought it was interesting to use AI for some tasks that could be long and boring when editing videos. Hopefully I answer your question. I saw so TBD gave you a little bit hint about Aspire, but yeah, love it. It's a great tool. Have a try. I think for a new project, I don't see the reason why you wouldn't use Aspire in a project these days. When I use AI agent, I found myself waiting a lot. I need a hobby. No, I can't just stand one. Yeah, well, you need to, that gives you time to think about your project and what you will be working on, and like if it's worth it and stuff like that. But it's true that sometimes I do this, and just kind of like it's spinning. Yeah, I get that. So if somebody's job is sit in a factory snapping keyboard in half. Oh, really, Marcus? I think that would be boring after a while, right? Mr. Magoo, you landed. So you won't be the biggest loser today. I think the biggest loser might be TBD today. Like for in the game, not in real life, because I think you're awesome, TBD. Talking about that, I will have to wrap up the show soon. Marco's voice, coder said, when I'm doing stuff on my front end, I like to do .NET Watch Now. But yeah, because it seems difficult to start actual applications. Oh yeah, but like well, now with the CLI you can do Aspire Start. That's the new CLI. You could install it, and you could now, you remember like before it was like to add a project you do like right click add to Aspire and stuff like that in the CLI. So now you have a, like, not in the CLI, in the IDE, the editors. Now you have a like a CLI to do that if you want. So it's kind of like Docker Compose and Terraform, but in C#. Yes, it's kind of Docker Compose, Terraform. It will generate biceps files. So biceps is like Terraform, but like it's a Microsoft. So to deploy into Azure, you could deploy in many different, like your infrastructure as code. Terraform is infrastructure as code. You could use Terraform or you could use biceps. Biceps will only work into Azure. So AZD is for deploying into Azure. It will generate biceps file, but like you could use different tools. I know Aspire is supported also in Amazon, but like Aspire is a dev tool. So it's for when you're local, when you're on your machine and coding. Then it provide a manifest that different tools, let's say AZD that I was talking about, because to deploy a solution using AZD is AZD up. What it does, it asks Aspire to generate that manifest. It's like a big JSON file, and then use that plus the infrastructure as code file generated to deploy your solution. So I'm assuming the tool for Amazon that I didn't try yet will do the same. So Aspire is not to deploy, it's not to run into the cloud, it's really a dev tool. That said, just to confuse, like blur the line a little bit more, the dashboard, like when the team showed the dashboard, thought it was so amazing that people want that. So now you could also, the dashboard could run in a container, so you could also deploy it in a cloud environment to investigate your solution. I've been using it with some Amazon stuff. Well, yeah, because I think TBD, like, it's cool. I didn't try it yet, though, with Amazon stuff. I should. Maybe now, because I have a little bit more time, but that's not true. I don't have time. Like, yeah, I'm busy. But it goes so fast that, and like, they could work with the others, but Aspire team works with many different people, so I'm not surprised when like what's the name of the Amazon event? Coder, I forgot what it is. Renove, I forgot what it is. I'm sure like when that thing comes out, like you will see like things get upgraded and things like, we just had build. Google had his own event, and there was another also event. It was Claude also, right? This week, it was a packed week this week. I didn't watch Claude yet, but Claude 4 is now there. I may be the smallest winner. That's cool. Okay, I think I will have to wrap up, guys. So let's do a save, and let's do a stop here. So our CB will check the stats for a project, the stream notes, and while this is wrapping up, because it always takes times, I could check who's streaming today that we could raid. We're 15, so we could raid somebody. I need to change that. I will use Copilot to change that. Why don't we? There it is. So raid by TBD. The game results are there. Have a good weekend, Fragbird. Everybody. Okay, now the super stats. So the best score is by Code by Mistake. The biggest loser is Copperbird. 17 drops and still 0. Luckiest was Code by Mistakes. Oh, I thought it would be... oh, maybe because he had a better score. And a super participant is Copperbird. Yeah, okay. Cool, and like all the notes. There it is. There it is. We had everything. So I could do hide here. So that was a cool stream, I think. Donated 2 euro. Not sure if Streamlab is broken. Oh, did I miss something? Oh yeah, tips. Thank you. Very, very well appreciated. If you want to have a look here. There's plenty of project, and it's usually very well documented also. And I accept sponsor, so if you want to help me there, it's always appreciated. Any suggestion, guys, on who should be raiding? I see Jackie Codes is there streaming. There's... I don't see a lot of .NET stuff. And Jackie's not always .NET anyway, but why can I not expand this? because the window is not open fully.
No, my password was initial.
Let's raid Jackie Code. Stay with me. We'll go see Jackie Code. She's working on the open world RPG level design. So let's raid her. And let's do exclamation point raid. No, it's not exclamation point, it's slash. Damn it. Voila. For a mature audience, I think it's our humor. So yeah, so everybody, thank you a lot for being with me today. It was a pleasure having you. Have a good weekend. If it's nice, try to go outside, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.